We're in the garden today for a walk because these blooms are happening, and you want to see what's blooming in the garden before the rain gets them or they're out of bloom. Every week something new. And I'm starting up here with the peonies. This is Carl Rosenfeld. Gorgeous, gorgeous buds and flowers, and it's fragrant. Alongside of it is Bowl of Beauty peony. I don't
Bowl
Bowl
of
of Beauty.
Beauty.
These my peonies have all been given to me except
Well, like they last for a long
they
time.
do. But this was from Betty's garden when I lived down in Jackson's Mill, and this was beside Carl Rosenfeld. And Bowl of Beauty probably has never been in bloom when we've done a video, and
I don't
she
remember
is.
seeing it.
I know, it's beautiful. But all of these peonies, they just live for forever. And if you can get someone to divide with you, and I have done that with many people, it adds a little history. Beside me is Heritage White Festiva. This is my mom's. It's gone everywhere with me. And this is Sarah Bernhardt. That's not bloom up here, but there's one in the garden that's in bloom. But her buds are big and lush. But before we go, let's take a look at the Peruvian Siberian squill lily, the one that you've seen on another video that's never been in bloom for me, and it is magnificent. I just love it. And these sweet little forget-me-nots. Isn't that just, I just love how they peep their heads up in any garden. But we're going to go down into the other garden because I want to show you the two climbing roses that are doing their thing, and the other two peonies I have that you haven't seen. And the iceberg rose, even though it's not in full flush, I wanted to show you how this is its third year, how it has climbed into the tree, and I wanted it to do that. Look at those pink, white little buds coming out. It's just got this romantic look. That's what I wanted to do. I want that branch to climb through the tree. My hopes is I can get this one to go through the rails of the deck up there, but oh my goodness, it is doing its thing, and I just love it. And it's trailing around the side of the compost pile. It is blooming nicely there too. I'm so pleased. It's got a light fragrance, and this will bloom off and on all summer. You'll have another big flush later in August usually. And this is Ramona, the down-facing clematis that will take over this during that slack of time. So that's looking beautiful. Isn't that shaped beautifully? This is the Saffron Druin. I've never seen my roses this full of bloom, looking so good this time of year. This early, it's late May, and what is this? May, I don't know, the May 16th, 17th. It's never bloomed this early. It's because we're in 6B and the weather has been absolutely gorgeous, hasn't been frosted. And Saffron Druin does the same thing. She'll bloom off and on all season, but then it'll have another great flush at the end of summer. I'm going to show you when we walk across the garden a little shrub rose ready to bloom, and then the other two peonies that you need to see that are getting ready, that are blooming right now. I'm walking over here to show you the sweet little shrub rose, Bonica shrub rose. I noticed, these are the only irises I have left blooming because, 'tis the season. Our weather just keeps changing and the blooms keep changing. But this little Bonica shrub rose, it's got a sweet little pink bud. I had two in bloom, and I thought they were still in bloom.
And it's so cute because they are just really tiny little blooms. They look great.
Just in a little bud vase.
In a little bud
by
vase.
Themselves.
Yeah.
And we've had this, Reggie and I were saying, it's at least 30 years old. It's been all over the garden, the front of the house, in every bed. And
it just stays that little compact shape.
Yeah,
really
it doesn't require a lot. The bugs, the beetles will get to it, but that's not a problem. So that's my Bonica shrub rose. The last of the roses I was going to show you. Now we'll go to the last of the peonies. And this is Shirley Temple. She's a beautiful peony. She's big, she's hefty.
Yeah, it's real big, honey.
It's white, white, white. There's no pink to her. She's great for little bud vases. You can see how many blooms come on her. There's 4 on this one stalk. if you can cut her for a large vase bouquet, but you're going to sacrifice this little bud here. This one's marshmallow stage, it'll bloom. So your head, what I found with Shirley Temple is, if you don't mind sacrificing a few of the buds, you can cut that, put her in a vase, or make her just a little bud vase and put that with a little bit of lavender stems or mint stems. It's a statement. Let's go on down here. We have Sarah Bernhardt in bloom. And guys, get forget-me-nots. They just add such a just a sweet touch, a gentle touch. It just gives it I always say romantic, but it does. But look at Sarah Bernhardt,
That is
full
packed.
of blooms, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. And she was given to me, as I said, you know, all my peonies have a history to them, except for little Shirley Temple. I did buy her, but Clayton Taylor, I used to garden for him, weed for him, and he promised me a start, and that's years ago when I worked for him. And now I've been able to divide it. I have it up there, here, and I've given it away to many people. And then back there is still Carl Rosenfeld, and he's just blooming its head off. Time to make more bouquets. That's the plan for the weekend.
Foxgloves, aren't they?
Oh, the foxgloves, they're showing themselves too, Reg. I'm glad you saw that. So that's what's blooming right now, this third week of May. And you've got to get out and take pictures of what's blooming so you don't forget. I was talking to a gardener the other day, and they said, I couldn't remember what was coming up. I said, that's why I'm trying to do not only once a month, but once a week, get out here and walk through, get a video so I remember what was happening this time last year or next year, because the weather makes a difference. So thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork, just taking a walk through the garden today. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.